Hi everybody, welcome to Dice Camera Action. It may seem like we are Hollyless today, but in fact Holly will hopefully be joining us shortly. She's taking a Pigeon Air flight back to Seattle and it's running a little bit late. Previously in Dice Camera Action, our adventurers cornered Father Luke Sunbright in his office in the spires of the morning, the Temple of Lathander in Waterdeep. And thereupon, as he imbibed some of his wine, the priest keeled over dead and burst into flames. Fearing that Diath would be pinned for the crime, the Waffle crew made some hasty attempts to gather their wits. Ultimately, however, Diath was taken into custody and brought to trial swiftly. Waterdeep justice is swift justice. But he was not found guilty of the crime of murdering the priest. Instead, he was found guilty of the crime of stealing a bottle of wine, a crime which he did not commit, but which he basically fessed up to cover for his good friend, Paulton.
Friend? Wow.
Well, who, with Evelyn, tried to intercede on Diath's behalf at the trial to no avail. Strix tried as well, going as far as to barge into the Blackstaff's tower to try to convince the Blackstaff to take a step in Diath's direction. The Blackstaff instead went to Omen Drawn, who did nothing.
That jerk.
At least he's consistent.
Yes. Yeah. So when we last left Paulton, he was getting drunk at a bar. When we last left Evelyn, she was at home at the Waffle House, basically languishing while the kids and Waffles and others were gallivanting around, oblivious to Diath's predicament. Strix went off in rat form to try to infiltrate Castle Waterdeep, slip down into the dungeons, and hook up with Diath, who is now trapped in a dark cell, having received a visit from a dark stranger. Forget anything?
That sounds like everything.
All right.
Oh, and also the very successful launch of SEPA and SEPA Law Project.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. How could we forget?
There's no such thing.
Oh, there's such thing. It's happening.
Yet. Paulton with a law practice is an entirely different show.
Mm-hmm. It's Better Call Paul.
The Dragon Heist book is all about making covens. So
yes.
Why a law coven?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A law coven.
A law coven. Evelyn, you can see that things are in a bit of disarray. You haven't had any visitors to the bakery, so it's just the kids running around and doing their thing. As you kind of look longingly out a dirty window toward the front of the Waffle crew, you see two horses come into view, both bedecked in beautiful, not armor, but basically they just got sort of these draped, I don't even know what they're called, I can't remember what they're called, flags almost, with the symbol of Lathander displayed prominently on them. You can see also one of the horse riders is a young man holding a banner with the golden symbol of Lathander at the top. On the other horse, dismounting, is a cloaked figure. And what you can make of her is that she has dark charcoal skin and white hair shaved almost down to the scalp.
Evelyn is like, she sees this, I assume, out a window.
Yeah.
And she's like, like the way like a kid seeing like the ice cream man.
Yeah.
Or like a parade or something like
Yes.
that. She's just like, and she immediately just runs out. She doesn't even know whether they're stopping to see her or anything, but she just does that thing like you would, like, Mom, the ice cream man's coming! And you just run out.
Okay. So you trip over some toys and stuff on your, or you fly over some toys and stuff on your way to the door. You realize that the place behind you is in somewhat disarray. The bakery is a little out of sorts at this moment, but you're kind of, you know.
I mean,
yeah.
She's not thinking about whether or not they're coming in. She's like, horses are like, when someone's obsessed with like sport cars and like loves to talk about them, that's how Evelyn is about horses. She's
Absolutely.
like, oh, and then like put Lathander on the horses.
She comes from a horse town.
Cool looking lady riding the horse and like Lathander livery all over the place. She's not really thinking about the house. She'll just shut the door behind her and run out to the curb like.
When you run out, you can see that the woman hands the reins of her horse to the other rider who stays mounted on his. Then she begins making her way toward you. And you can see right away that there's something unusual about her. Well, first of all, she's a drow. Second of all, her eyes are sort of milky white. They don't seem to have any pupils.
Do they look like Strix's?
Somewhat, yes. Make an insight check.
Well, 10.
Okay. The way she carries herself suggests someone of great bearing and import.
Do I think that this might be the person that Sister Incensia told me about?
Yeah, it seems highly unlikely that you would just run into another drow here in the city. It must be Talastin Adaragon.
Who's also wearing Lathander clothing and all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, she's got her actual, she's just wearing traveling gear. Nothing particularly fancy. It's almost pedestrian. But she does have the symbol of Lathander around her neck.
What would be the appropriate, like, etiquette greeting for someone of her station for a paladin?
You could simply refer to her as priestess or
like, would I bow?
Priest.
Would
I see what you're saying. So, yes, you would. If she's the person you think she is, her station is higher than yours in the clergy. So, if not bow, at the very least, just sort of a nod of the head.
So I think Evelyn like sees that she's approaching and she's like smoothing her like clothes and like kind of trying to arrange her hair. And she's just kind of like very excited.
All right. She comes over to you and her gaze doesn't shift off of the building ahead of you, but she speaks to you and says, I am looking for Evelyn Marthain.
Evelyn like tries to get in her gaze, like, hi, I'm Evelyn Marthain. Very pleased to meet you, priestess. I'm so honored. Assuming you're Talastia Endaragon, is that right?
Talastin.
Alastin.
Talastin.
Talastin.
Yeah.
That's a hard name, Chris.
It sure is. Talastin Adaragon. That's
priestess.
A tough one. Priestess of Lathander. She says, a pleasure to meet you. My name is Talastin Adaragon. Can we go inside?
How about, yes, just, would you excuse me one moment?
Of course.
Evelyn, like very calmly walks in the door, then shuts it behind her and, kids, help! Clean up your toilet now!
It's like that thing where it's like, Mom's going to be home in 5 minutes.
Yeah. So Evelyn's like piling toys into a pile and shoving them in a closet and like signing to Nat frantically, like, clean up that, and like yelling at Squidly, like, stop licking that, pick it up, you know, just like frantically trying to clean up at least like the common space.
Day one. Talastin, sort of, you see her kind of peering through, or not peering through a window, just sort of standing on the porch out front, kind of staying in the shade. and kind of out of sight. But you can see that there are other people in Troll Skull Alley who have sort of stopped because the horses are so majestic and their display is so majestic, and they don't see a drow on your doorstep every day.
So I think Evelyn just kind of like and like you know opens the door again while she's like kicking another toy out of the way and
yes,
please come in.
And she comes in, and she sort of makes her way into the room. You see, despite the fact that, despite her disability, she seems to move around tables and chairs as if she knows where they are.
I'm very pleased to meet you. I am so surprised that you have presumably just arrived in town and you've come to visit me now.
She holds
Is there anything I can do for you?
She holds up a couple fingers and just says, and she sort of turns her head toward the display of pies and pastries and kind of makes her way over there a little bit and says to you as she walks over there to inspect the wares, I have already been to the temple and I'm aware of the situation there.
Ah, the situation. There's a few situations that I could think of, but I'm wondering exactly which situation you might be talking about.
The death of Father Sunbright.
Yeah, that was what I assumed maybe you were talking about.
I have spoken to Sister Incensia. She's told me about your and your friend's roles in the recent events there.
Which were just that we happened to be there. Not that we had anything to do with the death. Just to be clear. Wouldn't want to get off on the wrong foot.
If you ask different people, they say different things. But I believe you. She sort of leans in, and you see her take in the smell of the pastries.
May I offer you some pie or baked goods of any kind? Evelyn realizes she doesn't know the name of any of the things.
She says, it is all very suspicious, of course. Not you. I mean, regarding me, arriving as I did now after Father Sunbright's death. You see, Father Sunbright died from sun death poison, and this was mere days before his drow adversary arrived in the city. I never would have thought of that as suspicious, but many believe I am responsible.
Oh, well, are you?
We believe the real murderer is trying to discredit us both, Father Sunbright and I.
Well, that makes sense to me. You seem very nice.
What do you know about Father Morn?
Does Evelyn even know of him? Because she's never met him. I guess she would have known what Dieth told her.
Yeah.
I only know that he seems very unfriendly and suspicious.
He claims to be a descendant of the great adventurer, explorer Randall Morn, whose lineage was said to have died out years ago, so...
Does Evelyn know that adventurer?
Make a history check.
Man, I just got these new dice and they are not good so far. 8.
No, he says, but she says, almost registering your lack of awareness of who this is, she says, he is a very present figure in the Dalelands, near to where I came from, and on many occasions even fought my people.
Well, what would that mean if he was a descendant?
Well, first we should establish whether he is or not.
Oh.
A man who will lie about who he is will lie about almost everything.
I suppose that's true.
Perhaps while I'm settling in, you and your friends could investigate the matter. Surely there are records somewhere in this city. I'm not as familiar with all that Waterdeep has to offer.
I love records. I know exactly where I could find records. I assume there's like a library where Evelyn used to go to study.
Yeah, absolutely.
She loves books, so she's probably very excited about this. And I think she takes out like a little piece of paper and a pencil, and she's like, what exactly could I look up for you? His lineage and where he came from, I assume. Maybe some information about, what was his name? The adventurer Morn?
Randall Morn.
Randall, yeah, okay. And she just writes all this down, and she's like, I would be honored, your priestessness, to help you with that. Is there anything else we could do for you?
She says, according to Sister Incensia, you raised some funds to preserve the orphanage, and I'm grateful for that. You also expressed to her your wish to see Father Sunbright brought back from the dead.
Well, of course.
I will take care of that.
Thank you. That would just really be a load off my mind. Thank you.
And then Father Sunbright can return to his small little temple in Daggerford, and I can take over the spires of the morning, as Priestess Ceres intended.
Yeah, I think that'll make him pretty upset, but maybe it's for the best.
It is quite likely that his followers, his most ardent ones anyway, terrified to support him now that he has fallen. When he returns, he will be seen as weak, particularly if it is I who bring him back from the dead.
Do you know anything about why he was on this Aminator kick and why he wanted to change everything at the temple?
The heresy of the three-faced sun is always with us. It is part of our faith. Some believe it to be imminent, this return. I believe otherwise. You may not know much about me, but I was not always a follower of Lathander. I was in league with some of the worst people you can imagine, and it wasn't until I came to the surface and saw the sun that I was struck and awed by its beauty.
That's a real pretty story.
Lathander said he would redeem me, the price being my sight.
Was it worth it?
Absolutely.
I thought so.
I think I'll take this one.
Oh, let me wrap that up for you. Evelyn finds like some, parchment or something and makes a cute, pretty little package and puts a little bow on it. She makes it very nice and then gives it to her. And please enjoy. And anytime, please come visit if you need just a break from temple life. I know it can be crazy over there. And, I love making friends. If we could be friends, we don't have to be friends. I mean, if you wanted.
She turns to you and takes the little bag that you put it in, and she says, in the days ahead, it will be most, how do you say? It would be good to know that we can work together to make a stronger temple of Lathander here in the city. I will be judged for what I am more than who I am, and your support would take us a long way toward ensuring that the temple remains a peaceful place.
I know what it's like to be judged for who you are, and if there's anything I can do, I will do it.
I'm at the house, right?
You sort of walk in the door right now.
Okay.
Paulton, look who's here! It's Priestess. Dang it, I wish I could actually remember that name. Anne Daragon?
So last name is Adaragon.
Daragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Priestess
Daragon is here, and she loves Lathander, and I love Lathander, and Lathander is the greatest, and we're friends now, and I gave her a pastry, and she said she might come by sometime, maybe. And this is Paulton, Priestess. Paulton, bow.
Hello.
There's an awkward silence.
Phone's like, well, okay then. He when he walked through the door, he was just like holding a lute over, and then he just goes into the pastries and just grabs a pie and just all right, see you later, and then just starts walking out. He's also wearing his nice purple coat from the party.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Oh, I've been out playing, trying to.
You've been playing?
Yeah, trying to. There's that fee to pay, even after Dieth serves the time. So I figured I can go out and make money, to try and do that, which I totally didn't get from fan art, if that's what you're wondering. I'm gonna go now.
Evelyn looks at that priestess whose name is a black hole in my mind, looks at her and, oh, he's a musician. Have you ever heard him play? He's quite amazing. And maybe, oh, would you want to go to his show together if you need to relax? Maybe just, you know, in your off time, we could go. And he's, are you still on the Drunken Dying tour? I mean, not that tour. We need a new one. The Sunshiny tour. He's on the Sunshiny tour.
Oh, this is for a charity. It's called Seppa's Wish Foundation. Because my wish is that Diaz not be in jail.
That's
He has a
kind.
tour. He has a law firm. He has
Yeah.
a businessman.
Dude, jack of all trades. Like, just trying to diversify that portfolio, man.
Well, anyway,
Priestess,
if
Priestess Adaragon turns to you and says, sort of ignoring Paulton, turns to you and says, I'm going to return to the temple and make preparations for the resurrection ritual. Thank you for the pastry. It was a pleasure to see you here.
It was my pleasure. Please come by anytime, and I'll come visit the temple soon, and you let me know if there's anything at all I can do.
Of course. Paulton, you see this blinded drow woman with a short buzz cut walk past you, doesn't even acknowledge you.
As she leaves, I'm like, she seemed nice.
Evelyn's like, oh, she's a priestess, and she's cool. She's so nice, and she likes Lathander, and she doesn't want to do this crazy Aminator stuff, and she's gonna bring Father Sunbright back to life, and then none of this will be a problem anymore, and then, you know, it'll be great.
What?
Wasn't
Wait,
she cool? Did you see her hair?
Can we like back up a little bit?
Okay.
You said bring Sunbright back to life?
Mhm.
Why?
Because he was murdered?
But he was also kind of a dick.
Well, I mean, you're kind of a dick, but I still like you.
All right. So, I'll be out on the town.
Why?
If you need
What?
anything.
That's not a surprise to you, is it?
You know, just cause it's true doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I've just been kind of on edge lately, and you know, Father Sunbright raised me.
And that's very nice of him, and he did a great job. But
I don't know about that, but he did.
well, either way, whatever he was then, I'm assuming it's different than what he, I'd say, is now, was now.
Evelyn, Paulton's talking, but the horses outside are making noises.
Did you see those horses?
Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna go. I'll be out performing.
Do you need me to come help with like promoting and like managing the lists and stuff like we did on your last tour?
Yeah, sure. Why not? We need money, so.
Oh, maybe I'll go make sure Waffles can babysit. She goes and asks Waffles if Waffles can babysit, and Simon.
And Squidly.
And Squibbly.
No, Squidly, I've told you a million times you can't babysit.
Squidly's like licking a jar. He's like, why?
You are being babysat. Simon's in charge, and Waffles. You listen to what they say. No shooting them.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, I found this. He takes out the gun. What's this do?
Actually, Evelyn doesn't react like that because she doesn't know what a gun is. She's like, I don't know. Just put it back where you found it.
Paul's like, oh, yoink. Good job finding. I'll meet you out in town. Paul just dips.
Evelyn goes with him.
Okay, so the two of you leave the house to an owlbear and a wooden puppet. And
You know, as we do.
as you do, yep. You just dispense with the whole idea of babysitters real babysitters at this point.
If they go out when the horses are still at the end of the street, Evelyn
Yeah.
does that thing where she's like describing the cool things about the horses that no one except horse people would understand. She's like, "Oh, did you see this and this? And did you see how their gait was like this and their livery was like this?" And she's just like pointing out all that stuff to Paulton, who I
Yes.
assume does not care at all.
Yeah, you would have all this information, Evelyn, partly because you come from Amphale, and Amphale, the town north of Waterdeep, is like a horse heaven. It's horses are raised there. There's ranches all over the place. So yeah,
It's like, uh-huh. Yes, babe, those are horses. Very good.
Where are you guys going after leaving the Waffle House? I assume Paulton's steering this wagon.
Yeah, probably where I think there would be, to the best of my knowledge, a good combination of lots of people, but also with money.
The spring market.
Spring market it is.
All right. And you're just going to set up somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like playing and putting out a hat thing.
Okay.
So
Nothing
it's like
crazy.
busking more than it's like a show?
I mean, performances are pretty sick, so it'll become a show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Evelyn then, like, as soon as he picks a spot, she starts walking around the, like, courtyard or wherever they're at, letting people know that the show's going to start in 10 minutes. And it's going to be one of the finest performances ever seen. And you should make sure that you tell all your friends and be sure to stay here in the courtyard because the Paulton Seppa is about to play. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Mm-hmm.
He like walks by and whispers like, make sure you mention SEPA and SEPA Law and also the SEPA's Wish Foundation.
The show is to benefit the SEPA's Wish Foundation and is sponsored by SEPA and SEPA at Law. Wait, what?
Very good.
Yes. And so make a charisma performance check, and
Cool.
Evelyn, make a charisma persuasion check.
These dice suck.
That's good. It's not the dice.
29.
Holy
14.
shit. Okay. Well, the performance more than makes up for just anything else. I mean, 29, Jesus. Okay, you're the best show in the city right now. Okay, particularly when you break out your third hand and start playing with, like, the extra hand.
The like, it's hand drew, but like to make it less creepy, just like I threw a glove on him so he's
Yeah.
less jarring. So people are like, ooh, it's a cool trick.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Paulton's music regales crowds as they meander through the crowded spring market, providing them with much welcome entertainment and relief from the hustle and bustle. And pretty soon, Evelyn, you find yourself just sort of crowded out by just a large crowd of people who are completely entranced by this stellar performer.
I'm crowded. Like, I end up in the back.
Kinda, yeah. You're sort of pushed off just by the sheer volume of people that he's attracted.
Evelyn's like trying to get his attention, like, because she was like in the VIP section and now she's getting like pushed back, and she's like, are you? And I assume that he doesn't even notice performing, so she starts kind of like pouting in the back.
All right. And Paulton, you see a few innkeepers and tavern keepers who are moving among the crowd will like throw little wooden cards into your hat, so to speak. Basically contact information, as if, you know, if you're looking for jobs at their places or putting on shows at their places. And they try to entreat you to make time to speak to them at some point in your busy future.
Cool. Will do.
While this is going on, Strix, welcome, Holly.
Hello, I'm sorry. I just got home from a trip and all my animals are making every noise that they can make right now. So
That's fine. That's totally fine. You are in rat form,
Yay!
skulking up the side of Mount Waterdeep to get to a castle perched on its eastern spur, under which you think Diath has been incarcerated.
Cool. This sounds like I'm being dumb.
Well, you get up to the castle, and you realize, oh my God, this is an actual real castle. It's like
Yeah.
it is a mighty fortification with sturdy walls and whatnot. Now, being a rat, you could try to maybe crawl up a wall, climb in through an arrow slit, and kind of make your way down from there. Or your other option is to maybe look for something at ground level.
Well, I could probably have a pretty good sense of smell, right?
Yeah, you probably
So
do.
I could probably like smell where they took him.
Maybe not that great a sense of smell, but you could certainly smell, like, for instance, if there was a pipe or a culvert or something with water coming out or something like that. You could probably pick up on that pretty quick. Sense of kitchens or whatever. But just make a perception check for me.
Okay, I left all my dice downstairs, so let me get the dice roller. Hold on.
Okay.
This is where I am right now.
Okay. We'll come back to you.
Oh, wait, no, I got it. I just clicked
Okay.
it. Okay, yeah, 16.
Okay.
Sorry, Feathers is just the worst pitch.
That's totally cool. So you find you can either, like I said, you can either try to climb up a wall and go in over the wall or through a narrow slit, or you did find what appears to be a pipe that's big enough around that could fit 3 of you if you really wanted to. And there's some fluid, water spilling out of it.
Okay.
And
That's gross, but I guess I'll go in.
Okay. You start to pad your way up through the water to this pipe.
Yeah, as I get to the pipe, I look at my witch hat and take it off.
Oh, okay. Right. Yes.
Giving you away one too many times.
yeah, I'm like one too many times witch hat.
It goes poof when you take it off, and then you head up. You follow this pipe all the way to its end, and you know that you're heading to a kitchen long before you get there because the smells coming to you. And this kitchen must be fairly deep within the castle. You can see it's got a low ceiling braced by thick stone arches. There is a hearth. There's staff bustling around. The place is full of clutter and whatnot, and they seem to be making meals. Nothing fancy. Doesn't smell like anything fancy.
All right. Well, I'm concerned that it's a kitchen, considering that I'm a rat in a kitchen. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do my best to not be seen and just get out of the kitchen as quickly as possible. Question. Yeah. Before I turned into a rat, I was holding a pie. Does that mean it's now part of my rat?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, you sort of absorb your gear into its new form.
Exactly. So I had it in a bag, and I'm like, haha. Yeah. Okay. All right. So stealth check.
Yes, please, with advantage because you're tiny.
Oh, thank God. That's a 13.
And okay.
First one was a 1.
Okay. Nobody seems to be paying much attention to you. You can skulk through the kitchen, through a pantry, out into a hall, along a hall where you see a guard just standing in front of a door, and then a staircase leading up and down, a spiral staircase.
I'm guessing he's going to be down, so I'm going to try and go down.
Okay. As you attempt to navigate the castle, I'm not going to go room by room, hallway by hallway. Just make a survival check to sort of keep your bearings.
Okay, so I'm proficient in survival.
Great.
So that's 19.
Great. You do feel like you're making your way down along what you believe to be a path to the dungeon, and you are rewarded when you are proven correct.
Yay! But it just comes out as like, squeak!
Yeah. And you can see it's dreary down here. There are lamps, oil lamps that illuminate at regular intervals. There's sort of lamp smoke, oily smoke, air stench about the place, as well as the smell of sweat and whatnot. You can see cell doors, cell blocks. There are hundreds of cells down here.
All right.
And as you try to follow your nose to pinpoint where Diath is, it leads you deeper and deeper and deeper into this compound, and you actually pass by a couple guards on the way.
Okay.
Who don't, the guards down here, you don't get the impression that they really care about rats too much.
All right. That's good. That makes me feel less afraid. I'll just continue trying to find him.
Diath, you're out in the sun. This is your 1 hour a day out in the courtyard of Castle Waterdeep. And you're just letting the sun come down over the walls upon you. You see tall spires. This is like almost like a fairy tale castle in a lot of ways, but it's sort of a dark gray color, hardly romantic. But at the top of the various spires, you see long banners and flags catching the spring breeze. And you smell the air, the salty maritime air. And there are other prisoners out here, but they're kind of separated from you.
Yeah, I can't imagine I'm interacting with them very much.
No. And there are guards watching from all the walls above you, and you can actually see crossbows, their pointy tips peering out through arrow slits.
Yeah. I mean, during the hour, I really don't think DS does a whole lot aside from sit there and just enjoy his brief time outside, the air, the sun,
Okay.
while also getting a nostalgic feeling that he hates.
Mm-hmm. Strix, you find Dieth's cell, but you can't get in it
How come?
because it's sealed up tight.
What?
Because it's a cell.
Yeah, but like there's like no cartoon bars. I don't know.
No, it is an iron door set into a stone frame, and it's flush. There's like two steps leading down to the iron door, and then it's pretty much flush with the stone.
Well, if he's not in there.
You can smell him.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just turn back into myself and just like be like, "Hey, are you in there?"
So you're sort of crouched in the alcove of the door, just whispering into the door.
Yeah, and if I don't get a response, I'll just turn into a cloud and go through whatever hole I can find.
Okay. As a cloud, you can make your way through the door into a dark cell that is at present empty, although you see some kind of untouched food on a plate on a small little stool.
Okay, well, I'm unhappy that it's untouched. So I note that, and I'm like, but I'll just hang out in there as a cloud and just wait, I guess. Kind of like towards the ceiling so that no one sees me, obviously.
Okay. At the end of your hour, Dieth, you are escorted back to your cell and locked inside. Strix, you see the guards deliver him in, close the door behind them, and seal him inside this dark chamber. You can't imagine how he feels in that moment.
I mean, he didn't eat his food, so clearly not well.
As soon as DS is like put back inside, he basically just immediately drops down to his knees and then his hands and just crawls back to the corner.
Ugh. That's just heartbreaking. So Strix is just going to like float down and just not immediately like turn back into herself, but kind of like just wave as a cloud maybe and see if she doesn't want to scare him is the whole, she's like, he's already acting very scared.
He's probably like face down or like in his hands or something, so he probably doesn't even look around or see anything.
All right. By the way, does the pie still continue with me as a cloud?
Yeah, it's still absorbed into your whatever form you're in.
Okay, these are important. Yeah, so I guess she'll just turn back into herself and just kind of like not say anything, but just sort of set the pie like in front of him, just not to scare him.
Okay. Dieth, you become instantly aware that Strix is because that pie carries a familiar odor. Even though you can't see in the dark.
Yeah. That's shocking.
I didn't mean to shock you.
Yeah, I guess Dieth in the dark is just like, Strix, what are you doing here?
It's fine. I was a cloud. But you shouldn't have to be tortured like this.
No, you can't be here right now. They can't find you. You have to go. Get out of here.
It's fine.
No, it's not, Strix. You have to go. Strix.
Stop. Shh. Shh. Making scared noises is going to get more people's attention. I brought you a pie. Please eat it and don't starve.
Strix, just please. I can't.
She just doesn't say anything and just sits down next to him and just gives him a hug. And she's like, I'm not going to leave you here. This is terrible. And it's not your fault. It was Paulton's fault.
It's no one's fault. It's okay. I'll be okay. Just
no.
You can't stay in here. If they catch you, they'll throw you in one to you. Please, Strix. Leave. Please.
I'm not going to leave yet. It's like, she'll just, fine. If you don't want me to leave, I'll find a better solution. She just turns back into a rat and just like sits on his knee and crosses her little rat arms. It's like,
Outing rat.
it has the hat on again.
Yeah, DF just still doesn't let up and just continues to say, just please, you'll be safer if you'll go. I'll feel better if you're just safe.
She just
Please.
She just shakes her hand and gestures towards the pie, like she's not going to leave until like he eats something. She's like, with her rat hands.
So when Diaz throws in his cell, did they like take all his stuff?
Yeah, they would have taken anything that would have potentially been a danger to himself.
Okay.
So what they probably wouldn't take is something that clearly has no intrinsic value and clearly has or seems to have no dangerous edge to it. Like you might have your little necklace, for instance.
Oh, okay.
You would not have your keys.
Right. I guess seeing little pouty rat strix, Diaz will kind of reach out to the pie and for the first time, he actually just eats the pie with his hands.
Aww. Yeah, she'll just like rat on his shoulder and just kind of like sit there and just like make sure he eats a little bit.
Yeah, which he does, and then maybe after like lingering moments, because he doesn't actually want to be alone, but just knows it's safer for her to not be there. He'll just again tell her that, you know, he couldn't live with himself if she gets caught too, and she needs to go.
Yeah, she doesn't want to torture him, obviously, because she knows he's really worried. But she's just gonna nod her little rat head. But before she goes, she'll turn back into herself again, and take up the pie pan,
so
that she absorbs it again.
Very good.
And
yeah, smart.
She pulls the feather out of her hair and hands it to him and says, "You're not alone. You'll never be alone." And then she turns into a cloud.
Diath, you just now that when she takes her, I assume she had some sort of light a candle or something that you could see and actually have a face-to-face conversation. Nothing too bright, of course.
Probably her maybe her lantern dimmed really low.
Dimmed really low.
Yeah.
After she leaves and you're back in the dark again, you still have that feather to sort of feel.
Yeah, and he'll take the feather and just keep it on his person or stuff it in like his shirt or something so that it isn't seen.
And then she just leaves as a cloud because she's like, "Why didn't I do this the first time? Like, I'm so stupid. Like, why'd I go as a rat? Whatever."
So, are you trying to be like a creepy, misty cloud on the ground kind of dealy?
I think I'll just creepy, misty cloud on the ground and just kind of like find as many cracks as I can and just like ooze out of the building. Okay.
Evelyn, as you're sort of standing behind the crowd, a voice says, "Wow, he's actually pretty good." And
I know, he's the best, isn't he? Wait, hi, hello?
It's Todd. You can see that he's there. He's got there are some other guards, and they're just kind of very casually just keeping an eye on things in the market as they do. But he saw the crowd gathering, came over and said, saw you here and thought he should just say hi.
Hi, Todd. How are you?
Pretty good. It looks like your friend's going to be busy for a while. Want to just grab a bite to eat over at a stall?
Do I see this?
Make a perception check.
Evelyn has been like, Palpin, and he hasn't been paying any attention as soon as Todd shows up.
22.
Really angry.
Yeah, so as you're playing, you can see through the thicket of the people crowd off on one corner. Todd in his stupid shiny armor has come up and is talking to Evelyn in his stupid voice.
And you can see Evelyn's like, as soon as he asked her, like, do you want to grab a bite to eat? She's kind of like, well, I was watching the show, but, and you can see her like considering leaving.
Okay, so if I can, as I'm performing, I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery. Just like really, really low end and just sending stuff. It's like, she's not into you, dude. Never seen anyone get friend zoned harder. Just walk away now, man. Walk away with your dignity.
Okay. Is it your intention to do damage with this spell?
I prefer not to. Maybe like 1.
Okay.
Just a little like emotional sting.
Okay. Not terribly vicious mockery.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got
this
to...
It's more like somewhat hostile.
Right.
Mockery.
Okay, so he's got to make a saving throw. So what's your save DC?
17.
Okay. Okay, so for an instant, Evelyn, you see Todd looks sort of momentarily distracted, and he's like trying to figure out, like there's some... And he seems hurt, crestfallen all of a sudden.
This translates to Evelyn as him being hurt that she didn't agree to go grab a bite with him right away. And she's like, "Oh no, I didn't mean that. I didn't want to. Yeah, I have time for a bite. He won't be done with his set for a little while, and yeah, let's. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude."
All right, folks, that's the end of the first set. We'll be back in 15.
All right, so Paulton, you just stop, pack everything up, throw everything in a bag, and then start to march through the crowd. People are clapping.
Thank you.
And they want to like shake your hand, and they're like patting you on the shoulder, and then you find yourself just sort of mobbed. Your performance is so stellar.
Touching Todd's arm like comfortingly, like
yes.
Oh, sorry, Todd.
There's a group of young boys and girls who are just screaming. Ah!
Thank you.
They start tugging on your cloak and like holding on to you.
It's like, excuse me, I need to talk to our tour manager over there. We have some things to work out. Excuse me. Thank you.
Dexterity acrobatics check to get through the grasping.
Wow. Okay. Cool. 14.
Okay. It is with some trouble, but you are able to cut a path through.
Okay.
And actually, some people are like, leave the man alone. You know, blah blah blah. Stop grabbing onto his cloak. So you got some supporters.
It'll be 10, 15 minutes. Just quick lunch. We'll be back. So don't go anywhere. Just move.
A girl watches as her companion faints away in your presence, and.
Well, okay.
You and I live very different lives.
Alone in a cell, being fainted over in the courtyard.
And Evelyn, as you sort of draw Todd over toward the stall that he was pointing at, where they're serving, like chicken satay, and various other meals. You can see there's like a stuffed cucumber that looks really good. And things like that. Then suddenly Paulton just right in front of you.
Hey, got my break for lunch. What's going on?
Oh, that's great. You can join me and Todd.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I'd love to join.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
hey, Paulton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
Todd.
This is Todd. I just said it's Todd.
Oh, gotcha. Phil.
You know
cool.
Todd. He's been to our house like a ton of times. He's always super nice. No, my friend Todd.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
Todd will go over to the vendor and talk the vendor into giving up some freebies for him and his friends.
Oh my gosh, Todd's got the hookup. Look at that. The city guard hookup. Is that cool?
So do I. Did you see that?
See what?
Did you not see the best show in friggin' in all city?
Really good. It's always really good.
I could have gotten the hookup. I could have asked, and they probably would have been like, "Here you go. I've done it."
Well, that's nice. That's good for you.
Cool. So this Tom guy, who is he? Right, Tom. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But so so yeah. So how's the show going?
You see Todd is like holding his chicken satay and he's holding Paulton's chicken satay and just listening to the two of you talk.
Oh, is that for me? Thank you.
Yeah.
That's so nice, Todd. Thank you for treating us to lunch. Paulton, thank him for treating us to lunch.
I hand him some money and be like, don't need charity, thank you.
Paulton.
He says, no, I can't take the money while I'm on duty, sorry.
On duty? He's on duty. Is that cool?
You said duty.
Well, you see, Todd sort of gets the message a little bit, and he turns to you, Evelyn, and says, "Well, my companions and I have to continue our patrol, but it was great."
Oh, you can't stay?
No, I can't stay.
Come on, Todd. You can stay for the rest of his set, right?
Oh, he seems really busy though. It's just working hard.
No, I don't want to interrupt you guys. You go back and do what you're doing. We're just going to patrol, but you know what? I'll come by later and just see how you're doing.
Okay.
I'd appreciate that. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming in to check on us.
I learned a new card game the other day. I'd love to teach it to you, he says to Evelyn.
Oh, okay. That sounds fun.
Fun. So fun.
Yeah.
God, Todd, you're just fun.
Isn't he fun? He's fun.
So fun.
Yeah. Well, have fun, Todd, and I don't know. See you later. She like offers a hug. Like, are we hugging friends now?
Yeah, he'll hug you. There's like this awkward sort of clinking of armor. Clink.
Yeah, because we're both wearing armor.
Exactly. Yeah. But yes,
bye,
you
Todd.
hug, and then Todd will come over to you and say, "Okay, Paulton."
Because I'm just like, yeah. I just kind of like reach for one of the hugging hands, like, yeah. Good. So
all right.
fun.
Todd will sort of back away, and he kind of stumbles a bit, like.
Oh, watch out!
But catches his feet, kind of does a little spin around, gives you a smile, Evelyn, and then sort of gets back on his balance and walks over to his friends.
Isn't he nice, Fulton? He's
I don't
nice.
trust him.
You should hire him for security on the next leg of your tour.
Nah, I don't know. I feel like we're more than capable of our own security.
I don't know. Your like cloak's ripped again.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. You didn't get mobbed again?
No, it's fine. It's an easy fix.
Okay. Well,
Great.
I mean, you're right. I am pretty capable of security. I mean, like, if you want me to do security, I can do that. Or, promotion or anything.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Always a big help. So, what have we done? How much have we raised for
I just rolled that. So, in mixed coinage, coppers are nibs, shards, dragons. You netted a total of 21 gold pieces, which is actually pretty astonishing.
21 gold. All right. And how much was that fee again?
500.
Ah, yes. 500. Okay. So
well on your way.
Right. So only like boy. And how long do we have?
It's a 10-day. He's in prison for a 10-day.
Right. Okay. So with that performance, and we need. Okay. So, oh my God, this is going to take a lot of shows.
We need to make a bigger show.
We do.
Show that's ever been in Waterdeep. We need effects. We need opening acts. We need we need wizards to make like cool lights and stuff.
That does sound good. Do we know anyone that knows magic?
Strix. Hello.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah, great idea. Strix.
Strix can be our lighting designer.
Right. Oh yeah, it's good. Okay, so we got our TM.
Do you guys even know where Strix is?
So it's going to be a show with pyrotechnics. Got it.
Yeah.
Yep. She's definitely somewhere safe. She's very crucial to the show. Not our show, like our existence as a show. The show we're talking about, like performing, even though this all is a show. So she's definitely alive.
While this has happened, somebody comes up, asks for Paulton's autograph, and you just sort of absently sign it, and then.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for coming on.
You gotta charge for those.
Oh, right. That is 100 gold.
Not maybe that much. But guess what? Guess what I was thinking? I know who could help us make the biggest show ever in Waterdeep. Guess.
Who?
Owen Drawn. He would help us, and he knows everybody. And he has like this big business and everything. I'm sure he has a venue we could use. He'd probably let us use it for free.
we really just got to figure out who else could help us with this show. Like, it's just beyond me. I don't, man. But we could find some people around. I'm sure if we put out like flyers or like, there's probably like a billboard or like a community board or something.
Holly or Strix, have you received any missives of late?
Oh, from Omen?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
He hasn't written back since Evelyn wrote him that note about Paulton and her being invited to his mom's bar and not being.
Yeah, I feel like he's tired of our bullshit.
So you escape from the castle, Strix, in gaseous form, and then where do you go?
I'll just go back down to the street and take a normal route home.
Okay, great.
Yeah, probably just on my broom as I probably have a route that I take like just around the city, like on my broom, just waving like hello.
When you get home, the kids are just out of control. And you can see that they tell you some people came by, but the kids weren't sure the bakery was actually open, so they kind of scared them off.
Okay, I'm like, good job at scaring. You keep scaring everyone, unless I tell you not to scare them. And she'll just start getting the house in order, making sure Waffles is fed.
Squidly may have pretended that one of them was a hobgoblin and actually shot him.
Well,
based on the story that you're told.
Strix is like, as I've said before, just don't aim for anything important.
And people count as important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people count as important, but feet are okay. Just give them a good scare.
Okay. As night falls, Diath, the door to your cell opens. Light spills upon you, and you're sort of struck by it, and it actually feels like it's battering you. You're so unaccustomed to it from hours of darkness. But then the figure sort of shines it away from you and just puts the lantern on the floor. And you could see as she sets it down, she is cloaked in green, hood drawn up, silver hair flowing out from underneath the hood down to the floor and beyond. She's got extraordinarily long silver hair. Pale, slim hands.
Okay, not someone I recognize at all.
No.
Okay.
And she comes over to you, and there is something about her that suggests, even though she looks like to be of a human woman, maybe in her 40s, early 50s, she's very well kept, very well preserved. And there is something in her eyes that tells you she is much, 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 much older.
Huh.
And
okay.
She says, "This doesn't seem right for one who has defended our city against the depredations of a crime lord. My name is Laral Silverhand. I'm the Open Lord of Waterdeep."
Cool. I don't know if really Diaz can really respond right now, because again, imagine he's like kind of in the corner,
yes,
kind of bunched up, kind of like looking up from his just paying attention.
She notices that you're in this state, and she just sort of leans in a little bit, crouches down, and says, "I'm going to help you. Consider it a repayment for all that you've done."
Diaz just kind of looks back at her, more confused, suspicious at the same time, but also desperate.
Okay.
And just kind of like gives like little quick like nods as a like acknowledgement.
Okay. Paulton, Evelyn, you return home as evening falls. Strix is back. You've hatched out.
She's making a sign too that just says "Welcome home, Diaz," like a little pennant.
Oh, that's nice.
From like the top of the like the inn room, and she's like currently like just like putting little like party favors like hanging up like little strings and stuff.
Paulton's like looking over the cards that were given to him to kind of like maybe assess which of these places might be like the highest paying.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Okay.
This could be one of these places could work.
Yeah.
This could be better rates.
Yeah, you know the city well enough and you know the places well enough to know which ones are the ones that are going to earn you the most money. And you can also see that one of the cards is actually a card belonging to a noble family. Make sure I get the right one here. The Graulunds. So you don't know what that's about.
Oh, okay. Graulund. This might be the winner.
Yeah.
Do I know about them?
You do. So you know that Graulund is a noble family in Waterdeep. They have a villa not too far from where you live, actually. So Troll Skull Alley is... there it is. Between Delzorin Street and Serdune Street in the North Ward. If you were to travel east along either of those two streets, you would eventually come to Graulund Villa about 2 blocks, just 2 blocks from where you are.
Ooh, their house is fine. Maybe we could have a big like house party show there, and we could charge a cover.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, let's we should talk to them ASAP.
Warrington Munt comes barging in.
Oh, good.
And you say, I've had tremendous luck of late. Look at this. And he unwraps on top of the, he's something really hard on top of the glass case where the pies are stored. And he just sort of unwraps it. And you see, Paulton, it looks like a giant version of your gun.
Oh,
only
no.
much longer and much heavier. It looks like it must weigh about 50 pounds.
Oh, man.
Why is it every time Warrington shows back up, he's like, oh, look at this. Look at this shit.
What is that, Warrington? Is that some sort of stat?
I've had it commissioned, of course. Built by hand to custom specifications. What do you think of this, Pippin? Bit of a must, what?
Yeah, that looks dangerous as all hell.
What is it?
Please take it off the pies.
This, my dear, is a rifle.
Oh,
You shoot
rifle.
things with it.
Shoot.
And you just had it commissioned?
Yes, I told the artisan what I wanted, and he crafted it for me. It's taken him a week, but ere it's done. What a work of art.
Paul's just like, why is it so easy to get guns around here? Jesus.
I had to trade in some old medals. I feel rather bad about that. But it's worth it, don't you think?
Yep.
And he holds it, and he poses.
That looks really nice.
Yeah. Paulton goes up next to him and like poses with his.
Oh my god.
There's like an insane pull for everyone else in the room to become the third angel on the other side.
Like
Caitlin finds herself doing this and can't figure out why.
Like the camera is like slightly off center, so it looks like there needs to be a third to balance it out.
Strix is just slowly pushing the container pies away. Like,
Only one thing left to do now.
What's that?
Well, test it, of course.
That's what I
not
thought.
the house!
Why not? What does it do?
I will take it out of the city. As I understand it, these things are illegal.
They're illegal? What are they doing in the house?
Yet you had it commissioned.
I'm glad the earth isn't there.
This seems really backwards.
I don't think that this is a healthy place for kids. One of us is in jail, and now there's a gun again!
2 guns.
2 guns.
How do you guys seem to know what these things are? And I have never seen one before.
Well, it's the magic shooty thing. It doesn't matter. Warrington has explained them to us.
I'm going to give it a bit of a polish, and then I'll head out in the morning. Good night.
Good night, Warrington. Please don't shoot it in the house. Also, I left a pie in your room. Do you have a room? I think you sleep in the basement.
Like good night, Warrington. Have a wonderful night. Sleep well. Have fun. As he walks away, he's like, he needs to be out of this house now. He is crazy. He is a danger. He's
a hippo.
He is and I don't have a problem with that. Don't get me wrong.
But you have one of those things too.
Right. But he scares the crap out of me.
Why?
Because he's not so.
I'm more scared about the whole, like, I don't know, like, you know, planar, like, you know, mind flayer, like war. I'm more worried about that. Like, guns are guns, but, like, you know, he could lure a bunch of nasty things here.
Right. So all the more reason that he has to go.
It's fine. He's in the basement.
Seems like a little bit of a double standard to me.
Are you looking for conflict at this point?
Strix just like is ignoring them, and I'm like, hey, can you like help me hang up this other part of the banner? And it just says like, please don't go to jail again.
Well, I'm like, start like we're both helping, but we're still like arguing.
Yeah. There's like little characters that like Strix has drawn of Dieth, just like trying to look like they're happy, but they all look really sad.
There's a knock on the door, and when you crack it open, when one of you cracks it open, maybe one of the kids does, maybe Jenks goes to the door, throws it open, there is a courier.
Do you want pie?
And
yes, Jenks, do your job.
And the courier hands Jenks a bundle of morning glories and a note addressed to Evelyn from Todd.
Hey guys, this person did want. And Jenks tries to give the courier pie. Does he take it?
The courier will take the pie.
Okay. Jenks is like, thank you. And Strix is like, no, they're supposed to pay for them. And he'll bring the morning glories over to Evelyn and be like, here you go, Miss Evelyn.
Evelyn takes them and she's like, Todd sent me flowers. I don't think anyone's ever sent me flowers before.
They could be poison. Better check them.
Does he take them?
Like takes them and starts like analyzing them.
Aren't they pretty?
Are they poison?
Make a nature check.
Oh, I will. I will make the heck out of this nature check. Well, that's a nat one.
Likely.
They're definitely poison. I can feel it.
Are you
sure?
sure?
Better dispose of them ASAP. It's okay. Warrington has a gun. I think that'll handle this.
What? But
like he can't be trusted. He can't. He's.
So a gun is okay when someone brings Evelyn flowers. But
I didn't say it's okay. I'm just saying he's gonna go test it out. He'll need a target.
Why are you just so on edge lately? Like nobody can do anything right.
I'm going through a lot.
We're all going through a lot.
You sort of.
I'm okay.
You're like dropping the flowers in a trash can and stomping them down.
I guess I'm doing that. I'm really stressed out right now. My friend's in jail, and it's my fault, but I wasn't able to take responsibility. I'm trying to raise money for it, but no one here has money, and the freaking...
Does Evelyn think you...
Make an intelligence check, everybody who's inside the building.
Everybody!
You can even make one for the kids if you like.
13.
9.
What did Nat roll? Just roll a flat die for her.
6.
Okay.
Squidly rolled a nat 1.
Okay.
I rolled for waffles.
Great.
It's 18, but she will never be able to tell anyone.
Only waffles under.
Strix got 16 and Jenks got 15.
Okay. Strix, you know, as Paulton is going off about money and paying for Dieth's freedom, you know that Dieth was basically in charge of the party's funds and had a sizable sum of gems from the Xanathar's lair.
Right.
Tucked away
I do know that.
somewhere here, perhaps, or maybe he put them somewhere else, but you don't know what he did with them, but you know that you're actually quite well off.
All right. I'm not going to tell them.
Okay.
Cool.
Because I think it's great that Paulton is taking initiative.
Wow.
And then Dieth would be proud. And she's just gonna be like, I'll be right back for a second. And she'll just like go and try and see if she can find any of the gems.
Okay.
Like in places she knows that Dieth hides things. Like maybe she's seen him do it before. I don't know.
Probably.
Or maybe he told her. Would he tell her?
No.
It's like, I made a pie out of these gems.
Dieth doesn't tell anyone anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
so
fair.
you're gonna go on a hunt, search around.
She's gonna go on a hunt and search around of what she knows about Dieth and where he's gonna hide things.
Okay. It doesn't bear any fruit for the rest of the night, and then you kind of get tired of looking and decide, well, we got to go to bed. We'll look tomorrow.
All right. I'm disappointed.
Okay.
But not surprised at how well Dieth hides things.
Do I find the skin of the? Oh no, the straw doll is already gone. That's right.
Yeah.
At least I find like a nail back there. That's weird.
Evelyn, like, is aghast that Paulton just like stomped her flowers, but does she believe him that they were poisoned?
That's entirely up to you.
I guess she thinks it's a possibility, but she's like, could you have at least let me check those before you stomped them?
Sorry.
Thank you. She opens the note. What does the note say?
The note could be poison. Snatches it.
No!
Like, sorry, have it.
I want to oppose Dex. Oh, you give it back.
Sorry, have it.
Oh.
Thank you. Calm down.
It says, thank you for the smile.
It says thank you for the smile. Isn't
Wow, what a tryhard. Jeez.
What do you mean?
Nothing. He's just that. I don't know, man.
Like he's trying hard to be nice. He does seem to be trying real hard to be nice. I like that. I think
I don't trust it. There's something more to this. This is some kind of code for something.
Why do you think that?
I think he's trying to have us murdered.
I think you
to
need
death.
a nap. I think you need a nap.
I think I need a drink. I'm gonna go leave about it. Okay, bye. And he leaves.
Okay.
But like, not to his room. He like goes out the front door.
As soon as you throw open the front door, Dieth is
good.
standing there.
Dieth's help! Strix, Dieth's help!
I just closed the door. He's just like, okay, all right. That's definitely not Dieth. Something's up. Guys,
Strix is like stomping down the stairs, and she's like, "We're not done decorating. Keep the door closed."
Strahd's back. It's Strahd.
What is wrong with you people? Evelyn fights. She moves Paulton out of the way and opens the door and embraces Dieth, and she's like, "How did you get out?"
When she opens the door after Paul had shut it on him, Dieth's just giving this face.
She gives him a big hug, super tight.
Yeah, Dieth hugs her back.
What happened? Come in, come in.
Yeah, Dieth, if that is your real name.
Paulton.
Yes.
How do we know?
Strix will run up and give him a hug too, and be like, "Welcome back." Is it earlier? It's earlier than you were supposed to be back, right?
Yeah, Dieth immediately like hugs Strix too, and just says, "Yes, yeah, I'm home early."
Well, that's good. We decorated.
Paulton walks up to him and just like glares him like right in his face, and then just kind of like sniffs him a little. It's like behind his ears, like, "Yep, it's him. Trust me, I know. Don't ask why I know that."
Do you need anything? Are you hungry? Do you need more food? Are you okay? She just like immediately starts like asking like if he needs anything.
Can you tell us what happened?
Dieth will look over at Strix and will say, yeah, maybe some pie would be good.
All right, sit down. And she like pushes him towards a chair.
Yeah, he'll go and sit, and he'll just tell everyone that someone came to me and paid for the bail and got me out. They said they wanted to help.
Well, who was it?
I'm not sure. I didn't even get a name.
Do you have like And like another group of friends? Like
No. No.
I like that. Evelyn goes right there. It's like,
Are you adventuring behind our backs?
Oh my god.
No, Paulton, I'm not.
Is one of them a paladin?
No, I'm not doing that. I just.
Is it the Pancake Gang? I know it's.
The only stipulation is I won't get my stuff back until the end of the sentence. So for now, I'm just in my clothes.
Wait, you won't get your stuff back?
Right.
That's weird.
Evelyn like rustles around and she's like, I have a couple extra, like, you want a short sword? How about a crossbow? Do you want the dagger? Maybe a javelin? She's just like...
Oh, Strix is gonna bring him some tea and some pie and just sit it down next to him so that he can eat.
This might not be the time to bring it up, but I'm actually concerned about the health of this house. All we eat are pies. There's no way. There's no way we're getting proper nourishment, guys.
There's vegetables in them.
What's nutrition?
Yeah,
Good point.
Yeah, I guess Dieth is kind of looking a bit forlorn, maybe a little thin in the face, and just trying to eat pie.
What did the person? Do you think you'll ever see that person again? Do you know why they let you out?
I don't know. I don't know. It was hard to get a good read. I don't really fully understand, but
I
sure
bet
they want something from me.
it was an angel of Lathander, because Lathander didn't want you to suffer for something that you didn't do. Meaningful look at Paulton. Because Lathander loves us all and wants us to be happy.
I don't think it was an angel.
Why not? Angels can look like all sorts of things.
Do angels have money?
I suppose they could if they wanted to.
I guess.
I bet it was a blessing of Lathander.
Yeah, you know what? It probably was Evelyn.
Or someone who wants something.
I also
Or
think that's the case too.
maybe it was someone disguised as someone who we know from the past who wants something.
Well, I didn't recognize him.
Or maybe it's someone from the past that we do know that was disguised as someone that we don't know that wants something.
Is this a game we're playing? Maybe it's someone disguised as someone we don't know that is someone we do know from a past life disguised. I lost it.
It's all right. Strix will prestidigitate the decorations down and be like,
okay.
I tried.
Well, thank you, Strix. I appreciate that.
All right.
They looked lovely.
Thank you.
Speaking of someone wanting something, Dieth will stand and turns toward Paulton and go, "You owe me."
This feels like an interesting conversation.
There's not much of conversation here to have. Just, you're welcome. You owe me.
So, we haven't confirmed, but I'm assuming this is about you serving out that sentence for the wine that I stole.
Yeah, that's exactly that.
Hmm. And that was after I had asked you to do that, right?
You didn't ask me to do that.
Oh, I didn't. That's right. So, if I was going to volunteer to do that, not even volunteer, I was going to fess up. And I was completely ignored. And then you hopped in for it. Why would I owe you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I did something nice for you.
I didn't want you to do that.
You show a little gratitude.
But no, none of us wanted you to go to jail.
Yeah.
We know
Again,
that
I was going to go.
you.
I didn't want to go to jail. I didn't want anyone to go to jail.
I would have rather have gone. I can hold my own in jail, dude.
I could at least do something nice for you.
You've done a lot of nice stuff.
I think what Paulton's trying to say that he once said to me was that sometimes it's harder for your friends to watch you suffer than for you to just let your friends suffer for their own consequences.
AKA,
yes, I agree with that. Strix is like cleaning the table now so hard that there's just like a hole in it.
Just like wearing through like the finish.
Yeah, she's just like, no, it's fine. No, I agree. No one, we suffer from watching you suffer. Does that make sense? Digging in the table.
Yeah, sure, it makes sense. I don't care, and I'm going to hold you to this. And
Hold me to what?
That I did something for you.
You want me to owe you for doing something stupid? That was stupid.
For keeping you out of jail, you're welcome. And right now,
okay,
really unappreciated. Dieth will pick up his pie and be like, "I'm gonna go for the night."
Wait, what? No.
He walks up the stairs.
Hey, is this even? Is that? Should I go poke him to make sure that's really Dieth? I'll be right back.
There's a big there's a big boom on the floor underneath you. Boom, boom, boom. Down in front.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Did I do something like? Because like I tried to help him, and then I tried to fess up, and I tried to serve that sentence, and then I tried to go out and work days and nights.
Paulton, it's not your fault. Something's wrong with him. I don't know what's wrong with him, but it's not your fault. He shouldn't have taken.
Mad at me.
He shouldn't have taken the blame. He should have let you go because jail that messes him up, and he should have let you go because you would have been fine and just spent the whole time thinking about whatever you think about. I don't want to think about that.
So, yeah, I do fine in jail. It's like I've done it before. It's not a big deal. You know, you go there.
You've been to jail before.
Well, I'm gonna go check on Dieth. I'll be right back. And she just walks away.
Which time? I mean,
all of the times.
Look, I mean, it was really minor things. It was mainly, you know, I don't know. When you've played some of the freaking divey shitholes that I've played, then you do some stuff that people would call illegal, you know, like starting fights or, you know.
Strix, this conversation becomes more distant as you make your way up into the house and find Dieth's door closed.
She's gonna knock. Hello?
Yes?
What's wrong with you?
It's been a long day, and I'm on edge.
Can I make sure that you're not a magic copy of you and or someone who's not you and come in for a minute and maybe do some tests? You were just very angry and it's just you didn't even finish your pie.
He took it with him.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You're hiding your pie.
I guess when she says that, Diaz kind of opens the door and just like...
Oh. Just walks in, like, kind of stomping. And you also notice that some of your stuff has been overturned. She's like, sorry, I was looking for money so that we could get you out of jail. You're very good at hiding it.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you're trying to help me.
What's going on? Why? Number one, you shouldn't have taken that fall for Paulton. He would have done it, and he would have been fine in jail. It terrifies you.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Just not help him?
No,
yes.
You're supposed to... You don't hear us!
Canonically, I don't hear you, but yes.
He's supposed to take the fall for his own actions, not you. Every time you sacrifice yourself, it hurts us. Imagine if I did that. Imagine if I went to jail. How would you feel for you? How would you feel?
Devastated.
Exactly. So I risked myself to bring you a pie just so that you would be okay. Because you personally should never have to be in a cage. We know that you're scared, and we don't know why. You won't tell me, because you won't talk about it. But there's no reason why you should suffer like that. You should have let Paulton do it. And he wanted to do it, because he cares about you.
know if that's right.
It is right.
I don't think he does.
Yes, he does.
That's something I've really struggled with, and I guess now I just accept.
He cares about you. He would take that. He would have taken that fall for you. It wasn't yours to take. You took his power away. It wasn't yours.
Well, maybe for once it was good someone took his power away.
That I agree with, because he has too many guns.
Dieth is trying to like reset his room that was clearly rifled through. And then after a moment, it just says, "Did you find any money?"
No.
All right. Good.
But I know we have some, and we just want to get you out of jail. And you know I don't even use money.
Yeah, I know.
But you just have to. You can't keep sacrificing yourself. You can't.
Strix, you notice he looks really tired.
I'll let you go. But just know that you're not alone. And she'll just like walk out the door and just kind of like angrily like closes the door. I think she's like pissed.
As she's leaving, Dieth actually reaches out and grabs her hand.
Ah! She screams, but she's still holding his hand. She's like,
he'll like after grabbing her hand, he'll actually like kind of step closer to her, and he'll say, "Maybe you're right, Strix, and I appreciate that. And it turns out when you're in a jail cell, you have a lot of time to think, and I've just been thinking a lot, and I just need you to know that I need you here." And he'll like pull her in for a hug.
yeah, she'll hug it back, and you know, as she says, "I don't want you to go away again. I need you here."
Yeah, and Dieth will take one of his hands and actually slide it up and put it on one of her cheeks. And as he like kind of pulls away for a little bit and just stares into her eyes.
She's like blushing, which like I don't feel like on Strix just looks like, I don't know, like darker maybe. But she's just like she's like but she like you've never seen her blush before, but she's definitely blushing.
Dieth will keep the hand there and just whisper, "I need you." And then slides his hand back down, holds her hand with both hands, and then lets her leave.
Yeah, she's just like, doesn't know what to do. She's kind of just like still holding his hand a little bit, like, "Let's go," and just kind of like just backs up like this, like out the door, like and just closes the door, and she's like, "Okay, I need you, bye."
Boom, 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 boom.
And she's like sweating, and she immediately goes to Evelyn. She's like, "Evelyn, I need help!"
When she walks back down, Paulton's like finishing his story, and he's just like, "And that's how the third time I went to jail, that's how I became TBIC there. That's how the system works."
What's TBIC? Oh, Strix, are you okay?
"I'm not okay, I need help!"
Evelyn like checks her over for wounds.
You could tell. I don't know.
Fine.
You could tell that she's just like sweating, and
Just
she's
flustered.
Do you have a fever?
I don't know. Something's wrong with me. I'm cursed.
You're cursed? Come lay down. Evelyn takes her to her room.
Okay, she's like, "I think I'm gonna throw up."
Evelyn gets her a bucket. What happened? Did you like eat something bad? Did you let the pies go bad again?
Oh no, that was last time I threw up. This time I don't know why I'm gonna throw up, because I don't know what happened. I was just like, I was talking to Dieth, and he got really close to me and then put his hand on my face. And now it's like, I can't deal with it right now. And I'm just very scared. And it's just, I think I'm overheating. I think I'm going to throw up.
Oh.
Paulton's going to sneak out.
It is a curse.
Okay.
It's a curse.
Where's
Paulton?
Paulton?
No, I need something to
Where's
fix the
Paulton
curse.
going?
Out
Like out of the building,
Walton.
out? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Before you leave, could you remove curse on Strix, please?
You're cursed?
Yes, I'm cursed. Can't you see? Something's wrong with my face.
Evelyn's trying. Remove the curse.
Oh, remove curse. Got it.
That spell, you know.
Mm-hmm. He like I'm assuming Strix is probably like hunched up right now about it, unless she.
I mean, probably she's probably lost all form of a human, and it's just like a.
And she's just probably like throwing plates at a wall or something.
Yeah, yeah, just like she started like breaking pie plates, and she's just like, I'm gonna break the curse.
It's like he like bends down and like puts his hands on her shoulders. Is just like, stop it.
I don't feel any different. It's permanent. She just like takes off running into the kitchen.
Huh.
Okay, well, it's fine. Thank you for trying. I'll talk.
Paul,
it's fine.
Where are you going?
He's just like, I'm gonna do a run. Does anyone want anything while I'm out? Maybe, grocery shop, or do you need eggs, or like anything to remove curses, or I don't know.
Strix, do we need any pie ingredients?
All you hear is
Maybe. Okay, well, I'll see ya.
You taking anything or anyone?
I will take Simon with me.
Okay. Simon and Paulton leave.
Evelyn goes to the kitchen to ask for girl talk details about this face touching she heard about.
Okay.
You don't see Strix, but you definitely hear her breathing heavily in her panic cupboard.
Where does Paulton go?
He goes to find some wine.
All right. So, his specific wine of choice. Yes.
His usual stop to shop for
so
wine.
you walk down Del Zorin Street heading west. You cross the high road, which at night is not very busy, and then cross Copper Street and Shield Street and a bunch of other streets, making your way through the Sea Ward. You cross the Sea Ward and make it to the West Gate, which you can see. The West Gate is the only gate of the city that looks out over the sea. And beyond the West Gate, there really isn't anything except an expanse of mud flats that does not make for ideal beachfront property. And this thick, sort of grasping, sucking mud isn't terribly problematic for one of your height to navigate. And typically, when you've come out this way, Simon has kind of ridden on your shoulders. And you begin to make your way through the gate while many of the guards are asleep or not paying attention, and head out across the mud flats under a starry sky. And you can hear the crashing of the waves against the rocks as you cross the sucking mud, until you get to a series of rocky outcroppings near the northwest tip of the city. You're outside the walls of the city at this point, basically just staring into the dark sea. But you know this route by heart, having traversed it many times, and you climb onto a tall, jagged, rocky outcropping and begin to lower Simon down into the water.
All right, go get him, son.
All right, and he disappears beneath the briny depths, near where you can see the spars of an old ship poking up, lodged against the rocks. You can also see what appears to be a piece of mast coming up above the high water line. And Simon goes down below and swims down into this wreck and begins to navigate as only a small figure of his design can, swimming and paddling through this sunken wreck. And some sharks down there seem to pay him little heed as he swims down, digs through some nets and things, and cracks open a familiar chest and pulls out 1, 2, 3. He can carry in his little satchel 3 bottles of wine. And then he packs them away and swims back up, never having had to take a breath. And when he surfaces, you pull him up onto the rocks, and he hands you the bottles of wine from the sunken wreck.
What a wholesome father-son activity.
There it is. There it is.
And
good job, son.
that's good stuff. Yep. He gives you a thumbs up.
All right, son, let's bring this home.
This was shopping.
All right. Day 2. Everybody wakes up in the morning. Strix, you're sort of puffy-faced.
From probably crying.
Yeah. You wake up and do your usual morning habits as though nothing happened. Now that Diath's home, the family has been reunited.
It's true. She's avoiding Diath, though, because now she doesn't know what to say.
Yep.
She keeps looking like a glance, like,
What's important on your day's docket?
Evelyn will probably need to talk to Diath.
That you can do casually if he deigns to show himself. I assume, Diath, you're just trying to get back into your routine.
Yeah, he also doesn't have his equipment during these things.
Yeah.
He's probably down in the main bakery area, just trying to work the shop, I guess.
Great.
When Evelyn sees him in the morning, she's like, "Good morning, Diath." How are you?
Diath just looks up at Evelyn and says, "I'm fine. Just
You know that thing a long time ago that we talked about that I've been keeping a horrible, painful secret for so long? Do you remember that thing that you told me?"
Diath just looks at her. Yeah.
Just such an interesting time to think about that right now, considering that Strix seems ill somehow.
Well,
It's almost as though someone had touched her face.
look, I had a lot on my mind. Maybe it was time I showed her how much she means to me.
That's an interesting idea, Diath. Well,
Why are you guys whispering up there?
nothing. Just hope he has a wonderful first day free from jail. She just like chuffs him on the back and she's
Do
like,
you think that he's cursed?
"Yes, I do.
Oh, no.
I don't know why." She's looking at Diath for more clues as to what she's supposed to say.
Cursed with hunger to eat this delicious pie.
Diath, that sense of humor that you always have.
You guys are being super weird, and I don't care for it.
Come on, don't make this weird. Just, come on.
I wasn't gonna make it weird. I was just like, yo, nice, done, okay?
Okay, fine.
Nice.
Just, the business has been doing well yesterday, and
Business?
Paulton, as the morning greets you, you are a little bit concerned as you and Simon were returning to home with your stash that a couple of the guards may be starting to pay a little too much attention to your
Is it Todd?
forays.
They want my wine. Probably gonna find it and steal it. Well, that's a problem for tonight. It's like, anyway, deal with that later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to Evelyn.
Okay.
Just be like, "Hey, we should go to the Graulund's place."
Oh, we still get to do the show?
Is that not? He was bailed out, but is the fine paid? Did he say the fine was paid?
I think he did.
Yeah.
Did you say the fine was paid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can still do the show. I still want to do the show. I just like it has seemed like you didn't want to play if you had no reason. But if you want to play even for no reason, I always like it when you play.
Sure. Let's still head over there. See if they could use a show.
Yes.
Over Paulton's shoulder, Dieth is standing behind him, looking at Evelyn, going,
Mean.
Paulton,
Payback.
Paulton turns around and sees DF. He's like,
is immediately just going,
morning.
Yeah, but it's a nice day out, so yeah, a visit to the Graulund estate wouldn't be put you out of your way terribly.
I know this will help Strix get over her curse. Strix.
Uh-huh.
Remember how I told you what a lighting designer was?
No.
Well, a lighting designer is someone who makes really pretty lights and magic at a concert.
Uh-huh.
And that's what you're going to be for Paulton's next show.
You know magic, and you're good at it.
This sounds like you're just trying to get me to do work to make Paulton look fancier.
Don't you
Yes.
like doing magic?
Yes.
But then it makes more money for everyone.
That's true. And then if more of us go to jail, we can all bail each other out more.
Yeah.
well,
What?
if it doesn't come to that.
Are you putting on your fancy clothes?
No. I'm just leaving on my normal clothes. I'm like, it's fine.
Were you going to go play?
Have you heard of the Graulunds? You know, like family Graulund, like you know.
I heard of the Growlins.
Yes, that is the question.
Like, you know, the house to go to the house party at for spring break?
Are they... Chris, do I know of them?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you gonna play for them?
They left a card, so we're gonna see if we can play our luck. I hear they have a wine fountain.
Wow.
So exciting.
Now the reason comes out.
This actually could be a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at us all working on a project together.
Yeah, it was what we were...
Did I actually see if Dieth was Dieth and not someone else?
No, what did you? Well, you left. You were
flabbergasted.
You were
I was
flabbergasted.
too flabbergasted.
So
I'm just gonna poke him real quick.
Okay.
Ow.
Is he still Dieth?
Yeah.
Paulton's...
Okay, I'm sorry for that. I'll heal you. I'll heal you really quick.
You didn't do any damage.
Okay.
It looks over at her, like, what are you doing?
I was just checking. It's just, you know, so many of us have been clones and
right,
ice
yeah.
people. You know, since now I'm cursed and the whole, like, and she, like, touches the face.
Oh, sorry. Sorry if that was too much. Sorry.
No, it was, no. I think it cursed me. I think I'm cursed now, but that's fine. I can live with it.
I didn't curse you. Look, the show sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. We got their contact information when I was performing to raise money to get you out of jail, to pay your fine, when I was trying to take responsibility.
Really, you raised money.
You did. I saw it.
How much?
Like 20 gold.
Tell you what. If I can have that gold, I'll call it even.
Call what even?
Us. You won't owe me anything anymore.
Like, oh! When I owed you from our conversation, when I said, you're right, I do owe you. Right? When I said that.
Diaz will kind of like take Paulton aside and just whisper over to him, look, it's for a thing.
He goes, like a thing?
Yeah, that's a
Like he like looks over like at Strix, or at least where she was, like a thing. One of those things.
sorta.
Oh, he goes, oh, y'all schmangin'? Oh my God.
Oh,
No?
I just need some help.
It's like, yes, out of the goodness of my heart, I, Paulton Seppa, will bestow this money unto you, Dieth Woodrow, because you're my friend, who I care about.
Subtle.
And am willing to help.
All right.
Not because I owe you anything.
Everyone's cursed.
There is no debt. There is no debt.
You give him the money?
I'm getting to it. Paul looks up. He's like, Chris, I'm getting to it. So out of the goodness of my heart, the money raised from my foundation, SEPA's Wish, will go to one Dieth Woodrow. Again, 0 debt.
Sounds good.
Here you go, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. And hopefully the show goes well, too.
Oh, thanks.
Aren't we all going together?
We can.
Family
Yes, we're all going together.
Family trip. Family trip.
I was going to stay behind and run the shop. I feel a little naked.
All right.
Any other time we do this, like freaking demons and crap shows up. We went to a chair con once and still had to fight stuff.
Oh, right. ChairCon.
I
Not my
gotta submit
favorite.
our panels for ChairCon this year. I forgot.
All right. So you're going to head out without Dieth. Dieth will stay and mind the shop. As you guys make your way down the sunny street, you can see, after a couple blocks, House Graulund looming before you. It is a 2-story mansion on the corner of a lot. There is a wall attached to the mansion and a detached carriage house. This wall encloses the private property or the private estate of the Graulunds. It's a tall, 12-foot-high stone barrier with iron gates set into one side of it. And you can see some ivy creeping up from the inside of the wall. You can see some trees rising up above the height of the wall. These trees growing on the inside of the Graulund compound. And so the entrance is on Horn Street. As I said, it is an iron gate. When you approach it, it doesn't seem to be guarded, and it doesn't seem to have any lock on it.
Do I, as Evelyn is surveying the property, does she see anywhere that looks like it would be like a dope setting for the performance?
Oh, well, the house itself, if it holds to the grandeur that its outside promises, it probably has like a conservatory or a ballroom inside it. Oh, okay. It's genuinely huge. The carriage house is also quite massive. And as you creak open the gates, they just sort of squeal loudly on rusty, time-worn hinges. You can see the Graulund name worked into the wrought iron of the top of the gate. And there is a path that leads up to the main doors of the house, and a path that veers around the house to the carriage house tucked behind it. And I said there's all sorts of trees growing here, and they're sort of everything is sort of in the early spring. So a lot of the trees still don't have all their leaves. It looks well tended.
This is nice. I wish Dieth could have seen it. Why is it always so sad? I'm gonna see some trees.
He's had a long week. He just got out of jail.
That's true.
He's tired.
So what kind of lights do you want, Paulson? Do you want like explodey lights or like pretty lights or?
We can probably determine that once we assess what the actual venue will be. So if they want us to do an outdoor thing, we could probably do a big show. If it's like an indoor thing, we might not want to kill anyone. So why don't we knock the door and see what we can come up with?
Evelyn knocks on the door.
As you make your way over to the door and knock on it, Evelyn, Strix and Paulton, you sort of hear a raking sound or something like that, and then you see a figure over in the trees, basically clearing weeds out with a garden rake. And it is an old human male groundskeeper. And you can see there are 2 big dogs with him. One of them is sort of lounging on the grass. The other one is sort of sniffing around in the bushes. But these are mastiffs. They're really big. And as the knock happens, it sort of gets his attention, and he shoots a darting glare over at you. And there is kind of a look to him that's a little unsavory. You don't like the way he's looking at you.
Just kind of like a...
Yeah. He turns away and goes back to work. Actually, no, he just sort of stops working and sort of leans on the rake and just sort of stares. And the door opens, and a servant in House Graulund livery with ruffled sleeves and a ruffled neck shirt opens the door, looks out with pale face, and he says, "Yes, may I ask who's coming? Who's knocking? What is your purpose here?"
Kind of turns to Evelyn. It's just like, TM?
Hello, I'm here representing Seppa Enterprises. This is Paulton Seppa, who you know as you left your card for him, and we were here to inquire after what kind of performance you might be interested in.
Takes out the card.
He looks at the card. "Oh, my goodness. Well, yes, come on in. I will see if Lord and Lady Graulund can attend to you."
Strix is just like leaning on her staff, just like looking. I'm like, hey. Like,
all right.
One of these things is not like the other.
It's true enough. You are led into a great hall, and you can see iron chandeliers hanging from the dark mahogany ceiling.
Ooh.
And you can see lining the wood-paneled walls are tapestries. There are also some cabinets with accoutrement that the family has collected over the years and wants to put on display for all of their guests to see as soon as they arrive. There is also a fireplace dominating one wall with a black marble mantelpiece, above which is mounted a framed family portrait that depicts what you assume to be Lord and Lady Graulund. Lady Graulund looks tall, statuesque, dark hair done up beautifully. Lord Graulund is shorter, stockier, and they seem to have 3 young children and a family dog.
Paulton's just like, "Oh, that's nice. We should do that at the house.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. We should do that too. Okay, we should.
Yeah.
Okay."
And one of the children is a lot young enough that the lady is Graulund is cradling it in the picture. And you're ushered into the room, and the servant just says, goes up a flight of stairs and tells you he'll be back momentarily with one or both of Lord and Lady Graulund.
Evelyn and Paulton are like collecting house inspo.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm just like looking for like evil shit. Because as far as I'm concerned, like everyone is evil at this point.
Okay. As you are standing there, guards pour out of all of the doors around you. And you can see they're all wearing the house livery. And then you see striding among them are several individuals, men and women, dressed in black leather armor with snake tattoos on their body and flying snakes coiled around their arms. And you hear a voice, detached, like it's just sort of floating in empty space. And it's a woman's voice, and it says, "Kill them all."
Oh, God damn it.
Well, time to go home.
Paulton's just like, right, 6 minutes left in the show. Of course this is going to happen.
God damn it.
Can I cast my spell of recall?
What's that?
My spell of recall, my word of recall.
We shall see next week when we return.
I want to leave!
Once we roll initiative.
Well, what do you know?
It's like,
we don't
so...
get to play a concert in a fancy house.
Sorry, Sam.
It's like, so I'm guessing you weren't interested in the show.
Diaz changes his mind and wants to go to the noble house.
Yeah, Diaz is just at the manor, just like handing pies and like taking like idyllic little. He's just like, what a nice day. He's like breathing in the air and goes back inside. Meanwhile, like we're being killed by snake people. It's fine.
Ooh,
or
we have a
Diaz,
fun announcement today.
or Diaz senses go off and he just goes, something's wrong. All right.
What's the
Are we
announcement?
at announcements yet? I'm really excited about this one. So, excuse me.
So excited.
If you are going to PAX Unplugged and you plan to see us and you plan to come by our little booth, you will be able, if you so choose, no pressure, but if you so choose, to purchase our first line of Waffle Crew merch.
Oh, what?
Oh boy.
All of the pieces have some sort of reference to something that we hope you've enjoyed from the campaign. And we're not going to reveal them all at once. We're going to reveal them one by one. And Nate already has one of the items that you will be able to purchase. It is the Everything's Fine Waffle Pop Socket!
Focus.
I didn't even get to see this yet.
Yoink.
Don't shake your arm too hard, though. It'll fly off.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's really
Fun
satisfying.
fact, Nate actually designed that waffle with Everything's Fine written on it. And there
We
will
have
be
pins
other...
of that, too.
Holly!
What? I already showed the pin.
Well, we're only going to announce one piece of merch
I'm
at a time.
sorry. I already messed up. I'm sorry.
You just strixed it.
I'm sorry.
The same design will also be available on a pin.
I'm going to be quiet.
But don't worry, there are other things to be announced, including wearable things, not just accessory things. So watch Twitter, watch all of our Twitters, because we'll be probably announcing those in the coming days. And I know that sucks for people who are not going to be at PAX Unplugged. We're working little by little on making this stuff available. Hopefully we may be able to do some online options later, but for now, better come see us at PAX Unplugged.
Yeah.
But if you can't, you can watch our streams. Remember, we're doing a panel and a live game and some other stuff.
Yep.
That has yet to be announced.
For me, in an hour from now, I will actually be guesting on Sirens of the Realms right on this channel. Paulton is campaign hopping, so that'll probably be fine.
I assume that happened sometime in the past. Now.
Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, with Paulton, who knows?
Mm-hmm. Time's not a real thing. That's it for me.
Then that's it for this week. We will be back next week, of course, with an all-new episode of Dice Camera Action, with emphasis on action. And until then, everybody have a happy Turkey Day if you celebrate here in the United States. And if not, just enjoy the rest of your week. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Adios, amigos.
Bye.
Bye.